I'm not surprised that Avengers, Doomsday theories have been running rampant in MCU fan communities online recently, but I find several to be particularly convincing, despite how wild they are. Although it is still largely shrouded in mystery, recent announcements have confirmed several cast members for Avengers, Doomsday, several months after it was revealed that Robert Downey Jr. would be portraying the titular archvillain, Doctor Doom. These developments have offered ample information with which to formulate some incredible theories about what might transpire. The surprise Avengers, Doomsday cast announcement confirmed that the movie would star the titular Avengers, the New Avengers, mutants from Fox's X-Men franchise, and the Fantastic Four, who are due to make their MCU debut in July's The Fantastic Four: First Steps. This already promises to make it one of the most consequential installments of the MCU, which is reflected in many Avengers, Doomsday theories. Even if not all the following examples are vindicated when Avengers, Doomsday releases, I hope that at least one or two come to fruition. 8. Harley Quinn becomes the MCU's Doctor Doom. One theory suggests Harley Quinn will follow a similar but darker path to his mentor. Harley Quinn debuted in Iron Man 3 as the titular hero's unexpected protege after Iron Man stumbled upon Harley's home, and briefly appeared in Avengers: Endgame while paying his respects at Tony's funeral. This theory helps to continue Harley's MCU story in the most sinister way, by having him use the tech that Tony Stark left behind to follow in his footsteps, only down a much darker path. As for how Harley Quinn would wind up looking identical to his late mentor, I can imagine Quinn developing some kind of material or tech to make him resemble Tony Stark. This leans into the glaring similarities between Doctor Doom and Iron Man while fleshing out Harley Quinn's arc. The fact that Doom is somehow tied to the MCU's Iron Man is inescapable now that RDJ is portraying the character, and I can see this being a poignant and tidy way of tying Doom's arc to Tony's. It's certainly far-fetched, but it isn't as if Marvel Studios is averse to significantly altering traditional origin stories in the MCU, and it's fair to say that Doctor Doom's comic book origins will probably be changed somewhat. 7. Avengers, Doomsday also adapts Marvel's Secret Empire story. Steve Rogers could return as the villainous Hydra Supreme. Another habit of Marvel is to mesh two or more comic book stories into one. This theory elaborates on the possibility that Chris Evans will follow RDJ's lead and return as a villainous Steve Rogers in a dark subversion of their MCU legacies in Avengers, Doomsday. In the comics Avengers, Standoff, and Secret Empire, Steve Rogers' memory is manipulated by the Red Skull and the sentient Cosmic Cube, which became the Tesseract in the MCU, Kobich, into recalling himself to be a Hydra sleeper agent, culminating in him adopting the Hydra Supreme mantle and attempting to bring about Hydra's global domination. I like the idea that Red Skull has been sitting on this plan for all the years he has spent on Vorma. He is already intimately connected with at least one of the Infinity Stones, and a little narrative magic is all it takes for him to imbue these new memories in Steve when they are reacquainted during Steve's mission to return the Infinity Stones. It would additionally deliver the elaboration for which fans have been clamoring about Steve's mission and his activities since Avengers: Endgame. 6. Avengers, Doomsday will be an X-Men vs. Avengers movie. If both teams fight for survival, they could be pitted against one another. In Marvel Comics, the Avengers and X-Men don't always see eye to eye, despite both being superhero teams. Given Avengers, Doomsday is already confirmed to star both groups, this theory suggests that Marvel Studios is about to adapt a version of this recurring matchup. The groundwork has already been laid for why they would come to blows, given that incursions could threaten both their universes and force them to fight to save their own. The Captain America: Brave New World post-credit scene fueled this theory when the leader spoke to Sam Wilson about the threat of the others, specifically referring to them as heroes. While it would be heartbreaking to see both iconic teams fight one another, especially if there are casualties, there's no denying that it would be a spectacle. It would also hammer home the desperation of the surrounding circumstances, with both teams now forced to make impossible decisions for the sake of survival. 5. Doctor Doom kills the Avengers. Doctor Doom could kill variant Avengers to establish his power. Avengers: Infinity War ended with Thanos' victory over the Avengers, and this has led many to believe that Avengers: Doomsday, the multiverse saga's own penultimate Avengers movie, will follow suit. It's hard to see how Doctor Doom could outshine killing half of the universe, and many Avengers along with it, but wiping out the Avengers would certainly pack a punch. That's why this theory suggests that Avengers: Doomsday will open with Doctor Doom's massacre of Avengers like Spider-Man, Thor, and Doctor Strange, only for it to be revealed that these were the Avengers of another universe. There's a lot to like about this theory. It would immediately establish Doctor Doom's threat levels while spotlighting the multiverse, as it is hard to imagine why Earth 616's Avengers would inherently fare better than those in other universes. At the same time, it shields the team from having their character arcs obliterated while also going some way to deliver the same shock value as Thanos' snap in Avengers: Infinity War. Then again, with many suspecting that Doom will succeed in becoming God Emperor in Avengers: Secret Wars, I don't expect all the Avengers to come out unscathed. 4. Tony Stark is a Doctor Doom variant, not the other way around. Tony Stark might have been adopted in the MCU. When Robert Downey Jr. was announced to be portraying Doctor Doom in the multiverse saga, reactions were mixed. The prevailing, and entirely reasonable, theory is that the MCU's Doctor Doom will be a variant of Tony Stark, which is the simplest way of explaining why the two characters look identical. Another popular theory, however, suggests that it is the other way around, and that Tony Stark was always a variant of Victor Von Doom, thereby preserving Doom's more sacrosanct origins in Marvel Comics.